1,334 with a total of 31,714 sitting. Now, the other problem I have is that social studies recorded the highest pass rate. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying people should fail, but social studies should not be where we should be passing.
I think we're thinking with precision.
No, I think, yeah, I mean, for example, English language, 52% at A1 to C6, with 14% D7, 14% E8, and 13% F9. So English, they did much better than math. Integrated science, another important one, 49% A1 to C6, 15% D7, 15% E8, 17% F9. And then the council then also called on members of the public to be alert for scammers and all of that. So just park that point somewhere. A day will come where we'll focus purely on discussions around how mathematics is taught and why, for a country to become economically viable, you need people who are properly trained in mathematics.
Let me read a line.
So whether they are carpenters, whether they are plumbers, whether they are journalists, whether they are teachers, whether they become drivers, whether they become machine makers, a country with a poor mathematics foundation cannot succeed. And even in our public argument, sometimes you can hear how people are so binary. It's because their mathematical foundations are weak. So every discussion becomes a shout and a fight because our brain has not been properly mathematically tutored.
I'm going to read something for you later. We'll get back to it. But listen to this. It says, the results of the depth of knowledge indicates that the majority of items, about 68% on the core math examination, assesses basic application of skill or concept, while the proportion of items assessing strategic thinking was relatively high, about 30% in paper 2. That requires constructed responses from the students, from the candidates. It was very small. That's about 7% in paper 1. That was made up of multiple choice items.
Can you repeat what you're saying?
Let me finish. With 26% of the multiple choice items assessing students' ability to recall factual information. Taken together.
Sorry. Go ahead. Start again.
Okay. Okay. So it says that I'm reading a section of a study that was done on this.
Useful to actually mention that.
No, I'll read everything when I'm done. I'm just giving Bernard something to wrap things up. It says that the results of the depth of knowledge indicates that the majority of, and this focuses on just core maths, that the majority of the items, about 68% on the core math examination, assesses basic application of skill or concept, while the proportion of items assessing strategic thinking was relatively high. That's about 30% in paper 2. That requires constructed responses from the candidates. It was very small, about 7% in paper 1. That was made up of multiple choice items, with 26% of the multiple choice items assessing students' ability to recall factual information. Taking together, this is where I'm coming to. The results of the depth of knowledge indicates that about 80% of the items on the core mathematics assesses students' ability to either recall basic facts or perform straightforward routine procedures, which are the two lower levels of the depth of knowledge hierarchy. The fact that majority of the items on the WASI core maths assess factual knowledge, that is recall, or basic routine procedure, that is concept or skill, is troubling in many respects. Firstly, it gives a false impression to the candidates that doing mathematics means carrying out standard well-known procedures and recalling factual information, as opposed to the view of doing mathematics as engaging in critical thinking, solving routine and non-routine problems, explaining and justifying solution processes, drawing conclusions from observations, developing logical arguments for concepts, and contrasting solution methods.
I'll come back to this point. So even,
this is what you were saying.
So which is even worse. So the paper is not even that wild.
Yeah.
Right? And even that they are failing. So if you go to certain levels of exams where they focus on the latter things he said, applications, then you are going to run into many problems. Because if core maths is just testing recall and doing basic calculations, and 33% of the people are failing it, imagine if then
of private candidates,
whatever, they are still Ghanaians, whether they're public or private, I don't think it's a problem. The truth is that
that's even why it is a problem, because if they are private, what it means is a good number of them are people who had failed previously.
Second World War and Third World War.
Third World War, and they are failing again. So serious. The foundation is horrible.
We have to talk about it. Well, it's 8:03. We'll take you into tech and social media trends, brought to you by Vodafone. The One Ghana promo is here. With just one CD, you have 20 minutes talk time to all other networks. and 1 gig of data every day between 5 a.m. and 11:59 a.m. Simply dial *530# subscribe and enjoy longer conversations and browsing. The Vodafone One Ghana promo is the best value offer in town and it's easy on your pocket. Save big when you subscribe to the One Ghana promo daily. You can subscribe to this as many times as you want between 5 a.m. and 11:59 a.m. Vodafone, further together. It's also brought to you by Cal Bank. Our Nsonwa collection platform is a real-time online collection platform. Helps you easily manage all donations, whether it's cash check or any digital means. You instantly receive an alert whenever any donation is made, and you get a detailed statement to see all donations made. Speak to your relationship manager. Call Cal Bank 0800 500 500. Let's talk about the Cal Bank in our platform. Cal Bank, forward together. So what is trending this morning?
Well, Bernard, Lionel Messi is trending. FIFA is trending. Trending at number 1 is FIFA. You know, Lionel Messi won the FIFA...
they didn't give it to Mbappe?
No, FIFA Best Men's Player yesterday. And people are not very happy about it. They are saying all he did was win the World Cup.
We are tired.
Yes, but then his supporters are also saying, well, if it wasn't important, why were you then using it against him all these years that he hasn't won the World Cup? Now that he wins it and wins the best player, you are complaining. So you can't satisfy man. So there's a lot of that.
They're playing in the Pito League.
Well, the Nigerian elections also trending, Bernard. Nigerian elections, #Nigerian elections 2023, trending at number 3. Of course, everybody on the continent, well, most people on the continent are tweeting about this, and most people in Ghana as well. Reno Omokri, for instance, says anybody, whether pastor, politician, or elder statesman who makes statements calling for a military coup should be immediately arrested and dealt with to the fullest extent of the law. Protests and disagreements are democratic, but calling for a coup, no. Of course, people are very upset by what has happened with the INEC results. For instance, Olauda Equianu says the Lagos election 2023 was a sham. Labour overwhelmingly won in Lagos State. The result released by INEC Nigeria was largely compromised. A lot of people are not very happy with INEC. So INEC also trending quite high on the list of trends. World Cup is trending, of course. You know why? Because of, again, Lionel Messi.
So they didn't give you Mbappe?
No, they didn't give your money Mbappe.
How many teenagers are able to score 3 goals in a World Cup final?
Well, it's when we
and by age 21, he scored in 2 World Cup finals. He scored more than once.
I said Pele had that.
Charlie, Mbappe be serious.
Oh, he's serious, but you know.
No, he's the last World Cup 2018. Anyway,
let me wrap this up quickly. 2 foreign stories and then 2 from the continent. So Canada is banning TikTok on all government devices. Yes. So the decision follows a review by Canada's Chief Information Officer, and that the app presents an unacceptable level of risk to privacy and security. So anybody who works for the Canadian government and they give you a phone, you cannot put TikTok on it. ChatGPT.
What is the government of Ghana's policy on that?
These days we don't.
As for the.
Can you use government device to do Facebook and those things?
As for the Ghana government, we don't even know what the policy.
They should be checking. They should be checking people's browsers and what they be watching.
I mean, to serve in public office in the US, you can't even use certain servers.
Yeah, you can't use a private email.
Yeah.
But here, people send you email using private email. Government officials.
Somebody working in the Ministry of Education, lollipop at yahoo.com.
Yes, that's what they do. It means that there's no. If there's a policy, I've not seen it.
Scandalous.
Yeah,
lollipop at yahoo.com.
But the question
is working in the ministry.
Yeah, the question
is. They send you an official email with lollipop at yahoo.com.
The ministry cannot afford email accounts for everybody.
No, they should. It's a secret. No, go for it.
But do we even have
something Canada is
hide?
going fast to do TikTok because some people believe that TikTok can be used to do
by Chinese to scout, to
but
spy.
To bring it home, every government agency must have an email that is basically a government email.
Ideally,
we should stop those Yahoo things.
Yeah, but do we have something to actually hide?
We should we should have something to hide. Everybody has something to hide.
I see.
Well,
there should be something.
Well, those who are on Snapchat, Bernard is not on Snapchat, but a lot of people are on Snapchat. Starting this week, Snapchat users will have access to its new conversational chat box, which chatbot, which can write, and basically it's just their own chat GPT. Now, quickly,
Oh, I see.
yes, let me take you to two stories. So Move in Nigeria. So they are the pioneers behind this Uber cars that you've been seeing here.
Taxes.
Yes, the new ones, the orange ones, the Suzuki ones.
Okay.
They've become quite popular. Yeah, so started in Nigeria. Well, in Nigeria, the drivers are on strike. They are basically saying that they're not very happy with the options that are available. And they shared their stories. They're saying, look, the ride-hailing business is very, very troublesome for them. They're not making money.
One of the things that deeply concerns me is because we refuse to invest in science and technology and innovation and refuse to support our thinkers, things as basic as taxi and trotro, our people still are at the level of wage earners from it. Somebody lives in a country in America, brings you a service, which then helps you to aggregate the whole traffic conversation and then makes it more efficient, optimizes it so that when you need a taxi in 2 minutes, you get it. And we are not learning and training people to do this. And we are not investing the capital to support people to do this. You understand? And we are not even regulating it properly as well. So you won't support the people to innovate. You won't give money for people who want to develop it. Regulate it for people to also get living wage to it. You won't do. So what is your use?
Yeah, so I could give you some numbers, but we don't have time. So I will move on to my final story. I will go to Kenya, where from March, citizens in Kenya will be able to buy government securities from a digital platform.
I see.
Yes, they are moving.
So they are still encouraging people.
Yeah, they are saying you can buy bills and bonds now
For
from
me,
a
it
digital
doesn't
platform.
matter the platform you buy. The question is, can they pay? I think that should be the main question.
We are discouraging people by reason of our actions and
But
inactions.
people are buying T-bills.
Yeah, but you see, that is why someone was raising the red flag recently. I think it was your man, the economist with the
Is it Bockwin?
No. This very popular one. I think you brought him here during Joe Jackson.
Yeah.
I think I heard him on
Yes,
Eyewitness
yes.
News
Joe Jackson has
warning against the rush for treasury bills
Because it could
also blow up.
yes.
And that he's noticed a big trend that people are cashing in on it. They are rushing there with all their money. That they should be very careful the way they are going. Are we asking ourselves whether the government will be able to pay? Because some of these things are short-term instruments. I mean, 90 days, there's 1 month or 30 days or so.
So there's 30 days, a 60 days, I think 190 days, something. I don't know.
So if government cannot pay for the long-term instruments,
Yes.
what is the guarantee that these maturing instruments, which are happening, within 30 days, 60 days, and 90
the
days,
rates are very high.
very high. So, Charlie,
Yeah, well, they are doing this to solve a problem because the way their system works, people in the diaspora usually have to go to the country and go to the central bank to be able to buy bonds and bills. But this is going to clear that out of the way. So basically, you just go online and then you bid and take your thing and then you go your way.
Babe, so what are we doing tomorrow?
Oh, I have to go to the bank and go and pay for the stuff for my place. Then maybe back to the bank to transfer what's left to my brother. So
Are you serious? You're going to the bank twice in one day? Who is she? Eh? Which bank? Which branch?
babe, but
Oh, don't babe me. What's her name? Tell her what.
It's a new day.
Make your life easy with Cal Bank mobile banking. Just dial *771# and just like that, your life is easy. Transfer money from your Cal Bank account to any other account. Do mobile money and other payments right from your bank account on your phone, anytime, anywhere. No internet, no charges. It's just that easy. *771#. Banking is easy with Cal Bank.
Cal Bank, forward together.
Cal Bank, forward together.
one gunner, pit, pit. Just one gunner,
Vodafone One Ghana promo. Yo, bro, I beg, make you give me correct shock absorber. Or make I do video concept, then take the Gaussian P for the engine show you.
Hey, yawa humache. Every morning you the tear calls, they browse. Actually, something they there.
Hey, Tago, the way Tom make hot, I grow best one if you no po. If it be you where you get Vodafone One Ghana promo, them 20 minutes talk time to call all networks, where you start get data and 1 gig from 5 a.m. to 11:59 a.m. Bye. And can you go do pass me self, Ankasa? You dial star 530 hash. Make we enjoy. You go fit subscribe as many times as you want.
Yes, plantain chips.
Yo, sweet Ama, take this by Vodafone One Ghana bundle. Moku vibe plus video calls and things. You catch the vibe. Early morning, 5 a.m. sharp.
Vodafone, further together.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
There are moments in life when you're just so scared and you feel like just giving up. Oh, but Dino Milk is saying, we know that you can do it. Believe in yourself and then go for it. Go for it. Nourishmental, that is your Dino Milk. Oh.
Choose nourishment. Choose Dino Milk Whole Cow, your nutritious instant powdered milk.
Dino Milk. Go for it.
This advert is FDA approved.
There will never be a better time to buy a new Samsung phone. Love is in the air, and great gifts await you when you buy selected Samsung phones this February. Automatically get up to 2,000 cedis worth of fuel coupons, spa, shopping vouchers, as well as phone cases and more when you buy selected phones at our authorized stores. If you've been waiting months to buy a new phone, this is the time to stop telling yourself next month. Live a little and leave with a gift.
This offer is valid throughout this February. But if you have a sweet tooth, shop in our partner stores from the 11th to 14th February and get free extra chocolate. Valentine is here. Buy a Samsung and get a gift. Terms and conditions apply.
Ghana, you inspire us. Where others saw plastic bottles, Paul Kofi saw homes. Living in an environment where waste management is of concern to all, Paul Kofi accepted the challenge of building with plastic waste after years of studying this practice. Today, not only is Paul helping to recycle our environment, but also provides jobs for ordinary Ghanaians. At APSA, we call this Africanacity. Africanacity is our inspiration behind who we are and what we do. It's our commitment to helping people find the things done. We love Africanacity. To find out more, visit apsa.com.gh.
Someone smells great here. And fresh, my love. I wish I could stay in the shower all day. I know, right? Nothing beats a bath with geisha soap. It smells so good, it lasts long, and it's enriched with natural ingredients that work wonders for my skin.
And it now comes with a fresh new look, giving us even more reasons to love our geisha bar.
New and improved geisha soap. Great new look, better fragrance, same natural ingredients, still all last time. This advert is FDA approved.
Be strong and last long. Like geisha.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
And if you're finding it challenging to manage your value-added services, actually get Vodafone to help you by dialing *463# or visit my Vodafone app to manage all your convenient subscriptions or subscriptions in a convenient manner. Now, March 6th is a holiday and it's on Monday. Come spend a holiday with us at the Royal Citi and enjoy bed, breakfast and dinner at the special weekend promo for only 2,500 cedis per night. Call Linda 0242 886 510 for more details. The Royal Citi is still Ghana's leading hotel. It was right after his studies in recycle management that Paul Kofi accepted the challenge of building houses with plastic waste. Today, not only does he help in recycling waste to save the environment, Paul provides jobs for many Ghanaians. At ABSA, this is what we call Africanacity, the distinct ability of the Ghanaian to always get things done. Africanacity is our inspiration. It defines who we are and what we do. It's our commitment to helping people find a way to get things done. To find out more, visit absa.com.gh. And talking about travel, Safe Life Experience Consults is taking you on a wonderful trip to the Holy Land this Easter through Dubai and Rome. Visit the 4 basilicas, the city of Assisi, the Wailing Wall, Bethlehem, Nazareth, the Dead Sea. Hey. So on the 29th of March to the 16th of April, different packages exist: the Israel and Rome package, the Dubai and Israel package, the Rome and Dubai package starts from 2,900 USD. Contact Safe Life Experience Consult 0550 400 444. That's 0550 400 444 or WhatsApp 0277 556033. We are at Asylum Down opposite Delta Security. Alright, so talking about mathematics and the foundation, I'm reiterating this because I am saying that the quality of roads that will be built, the quality of decisions that will be made, the quality of housing that will be put up, the quality of arguments that will be made in Parliament, the quality of sermons preached on Sundays or Fridays at the mosque, the quality of what else? Of bridges, quality of skyscrapers will be determined by what is being taught at the basic level classroom.
In fact, the quality of public policy.
Yes.
Because if you don't crunch the numbers, you don't determine what exactly the possible impact of policy will be from the very start. You take all kinds of decisions not knowing how many people will be saved by X policy.
And even, you see, I want to go to read something just for public education. So, mathematics, for those who don't teach it well, focuses only on remembering formula and doing basic functions. So 2 2 4 6 is 8 3 3 9.
Yes.
But you know, when I was in one of the things that teachers try to do, which I think was good, when you do advanced, there's always something they call applications. You know, and sometimes you need to like, oh, Charlie, only the serious students do applications. Like you are too serious. Let me just understand the basic concept. Now, the basic concept is what then gives you the power to use it. So you can't use mathematics if you can't apply it. Now, he read something about the different things that the WASI tests. Okay, and I feel we focused too much on the first part. I wanted you to repeat if I could even write it down. You read something.
Okay. So I will do this again. And let me just say, I'm reading from the study done by James and John Dogbe. They published this in 2016. It was an assessment of the depth of knowledge and context characteristics of the WAS core maths paper between 19...
You insist on calling it was.
The man said it is was, your friend, Reverend.
He's not the owner of the exam. What is was? Was is secondary school in West Africa secondary school. This is WASI.
Okay, of the WASI. Between 1990...
You are not
I have honor, he doesn't have.
Between 1993 and 2013. So let me also say that there could be a situation that improvements have been made in the paper post this. But I've seen some of the, not much would have changed, actually. But...
so what he said was that basic...
Yes.
Just read it.
So, yes. So there are two of this. There are two brothers, actually. So let me just do this. So they are saying that the results of... Let me start from the top so that people understand. It says, this study examined the WASI core maths assessment in Ghana for the depth of knowledge and context characteristics over a 20-year period. Wow. In terms of the depth of knowledge, the WASI items were classified into one of the three categories of recall, basic application of skill or concept, or strategic thinking. With respect to the context characteristics, the items were categorized as to whether they were framed within abstract, semi-reality, or real-life reference context. Now, for the purposes of this, I'm using the first category. Now, the results of the depth of knowledge indicates that the majority of the items, about 68% on the core math examination, assess basic application of skill or concept, while the proportion of items assessing strategic thinking was relatively high. That's about 30% in paper 2. That requires constructed responses from the candidates. It was very small, about 7% in paper 1. That was made up of multiple choice items, with 26% of the multiple choice items assessing students' ability to recall factual information. Taken together, the results of the depth of knowledge indicate that about 80% of the items on the core math assesses students' ability to either recall basic facts or perform straightforward routine procedures, which are the two lower levels of the depth of knowledge hierarchy. The fact that the majority of the items on the WASI core math assesses factual knowledge, that is recall, or basic routine procedure, that is concept or skill, is troubling in many respects. Firstly, it gives a false impression to the candidates that doing mathematics means carrying out standard, well-known procedures and recalling factual information, as opposed to the view of doing mathematics as engaging in critical thinking, solving routine and non-routine problems, explaining and justifying solution processes, drawing conclusions from observations, developing logical arguments for concepts, and contrasting solution methods. These are the skills valued on other assessments, such as the TIMSS and PISA, that's PISA, TIMSS and PISA, and advocated by mathematics education organizers, such as the National Council of Teachers of Mathematics and the Common Core Standards of Mathematics. Secondly, given the fact that the content of most high-stakes public examinations drives classroom instruction and students' learning, the findings from this study might suggest that mathematics teaching and learning in Ghanaian schools focus on the knowledge that is tested on the WASI, which is low-level thinking skills, at the expense of more desirable, higher-order thinking skills. Should I continue?
Go on.
Okay. The results of the depth of knowledge may also explain the abysmal performance of Ghanaian 8th graders on the TIMSS for the 3 times, and this was 2003, 2007, and 2011, and that Ghana participated in the TIMSS. Although Ghana's performance improved from 2003 to 2011 in mathematics, the respective average scores in each of the 3 assessment years were significantly lower than the international averages. And then it goes on to talk about, it says, analysis of the students' performance in the TIMSS revealed that the few items that the Ghanaians answered correctly were those items assessing knowledge of facts and procedures. And that the students performed very poorly on the items assessing their ability to use concepts, solve non-routine problems, apply mathematics concepts, and reason mathematically.
This is very important because you see, class 3, class 4. I used to teach maths in class 4 for a school when I finished secondary school. And one of the things I noticed was that when you are teaching a child a subject, the concept, they can say they understand the concept, but the way we test the concept is give them what we call a word problem. So you can teach a child fractions and tell the child that whatever 1/2 is half. So if I have 2 oranges and I get 1 out of 2, it's half. Okay. 3 out of 8, 3 eighths. Then you can give them 1/2 plus 1/2 and teach them how to solve it, and they'll solve it. They haven't fully understood the work until you give them a word problem where you say there are 16 balls of kenke to be shared by 4 boys. Kofi decided to take 3/4 of the balls of kenke. How many balls of kenke will be left in the bowl? You get it? So you could have simply said, what is 1 minus 1/4? And then he can calculate it and use the formula and get the answer. But you say, oh, there are 16 balls of kenke in the soup in the bowl. Which is guy took 3/4 and ran away with it. How many is left for Kofi and his brother to share? Now, if he's able to transition from this fraction that he calculated quickly, now the problem is that most of us will do the first part, which is what he calls the recall. It's like 1 minus 1/2. Here's the formula. Then do it. So the formula you just input. But now, when you give him a word problem, say, what has kenke got to do with fractions? Okay, so modern mathematics teaching, you even start from the kenke. So you come to the class and say, okay, today, so a teacher can come and, you see, this is the problem. Class 4, you come and say, oh, today you are learning fractions. Then you write on the board, fractions, binomials.
Yes, pronounce it.
You've lost the student. You can come to class and say, today, I'm bringing, how many are we in the class? We are 9, we are 20 in the class. I'm bringing 12 toffees. And we are going to share. And we are going to decide how many people will not get. Then the discussion that ensues, say, oh, 8 out of the 12 did not get. So what percentage? So because they understand that there were 20 of them and only 12 of them got the toffee, then from the 8 that didn't get, you can begin. You can do division, you can do subtraction, you can do everything with that example. So we are the modern teaching method. They are supposed to start from the toffee example before they even write on the board that you are teaching. But in our day, teach anybody polynomials. Charlie, my grammar, I don't even understand what polynomial is.
Yes, it's too big at that.
You know, and he wants to finish syllabus, so he's holding the course to say, me, I'm here to teach. So he takes that thing, course outline. We are supposed to learn, what do you call it? Something called place value. Yeah. Like, why are you teaching somebody who speaks Ewe in his house or who speaks Twi at home and you go and write something called place value? Even the average journalist or the average, why are you telling a class 2 person you are teaching place value? What's the meaning of place value? What does that grammar mean to him? Meanwhile, you are trying to say that there's a difference between zeros, tens, ones, hundreds, thousands, 1,000s. You are basically trying to tell him that there are numbers work in a certain way. Do you get my point? So I am saying it starts from the teaching. Because if you come and tell me you can't teach me place value, I'm in class 4. What on earth should I know what place value is?
And again,
okay, so it's almost like because the teacher wants to finish the thing and tell his bosses that he's finished, he's not coming up with a learner-centered way of teaching the maths. And I'm saying that one of the reasons the Chinese, there's a book somebody gave me titled Can Asians Think? Even the way they go about their mathematics, the way they even, this thing about local language that we downplay. You see, the way we refer to fractions, the way a Chinese person refers to a fraction, if he's adding up fractions, because the meaning is inherent in the word, it's easier for him to do the fractional addition than you who's now learning through English language. So this learning thing, and I'm saying that, look, we may not be able to compete on some levels with other people, but if your people are well educated and they understand and can be creative, your country can do well. So what is happening in our classrooms is very crucial to where our country will be. And government must spend a lot more retraining our teachers, particularly in mathematics. Educhumi talks about STEM. I think he should probably have a national stakeholder meeting with the maths teachers on this. Because the foundation of STEM is mathematics. Now, if 1/3 of your private candidates are failing WASI, F9, how can they, because STEM, science, technology, engineering,
mathematics,
the foundation of all of that is maths. So there is a need for a proper conversation about how maths is taught in the country with new refresher courses for teachers regularly. Teachers, look, there are apps you can buy that can actually help teach your child maths better than even you can teach it.
YouTube is also there.
And learning has improved so much that these days, you don't need to struggle to use the old methods to teach our children. And if they don't get it right at the basic level, they become averse to maths like you, and then they begin to fail. So I feel like instead of just focusing on some of the fancy things like we are building STEM schools, which is not a bad thing, if you can get mathematics teachers to work on their pedagogy and to have a proven method of improving student outcomes in mathematics, you are changing the whole generation. It may not give you political points. Okay, and this is the other thing. It's not about how many people even just pass it. Because from what he's saying, you can have a 20-year period where most people who pass core maths, all they know is recall and basic application of concepts without analytical or strategic thinking.
Pass and forget.
You see, and that shows itself up when you enter university and you're supposed to do geometry. And you realize that your ability to grasp the concept is so weak. So you may have an A on paper, but you don't really understand the thing. Yeah. So we shouldn't gloss over this. Like, we have major news and minor news. Major news is they've reopened school. Parents are getting to put their children in school, so everybody's shouting about it. Or there's unrest on campus, in, out, in. But for me, if you have a longitudinal study of 20 years of maths achievement, and students are not developing in strategic thinking, it is a major problem, which journalism helps to capture in a way that is much better than what we've been told. Sky.
Yes. So, Bernard, a number of comments are coming in on this particular matter, and I'll be taking some of these comments. But as you rightly stated, have you seen Chinese or Asian people solving international maths, quizzes on international channels? I mean, sometimes you just see them moving their fingers in a way, and they are able to solve fairly complex mathematical equations or problems within seconds. Now, is the Ghanaian student able to do that? And the kind of precision that goes into what they do and how they do it and how they think and how that is even reflecting in their national policy is what should encourage those of us here in Africa to even think about going to understand how they are able to do it. Even if we have to send people outside there to China or to the Asian countries to learn how they are able to do it with their kids, because these are kids who are, 5 years or 6 years, 7 years, 9-year-olds, and they are able to do some of these things that I cannot even do because the foundation from the very beginning has been terrible until somebody rescued me. So I think we need to look at it
or develop our own ways of teaching it, because the Asian way is also based on the psyche of the Asian
and the culture.
And I believe that there are ways in which you can teach mathematics here that will get people to do much, much better than they are doing.
Well, let me just add a bit of detail to this.
Still same report?
Yeah.
Send it to me when you are done, though.
I will not.
Oh, I beg you. Don't give it to yourself.
Okay, so the Dogbes, James and John, then go on to talk about two academics, Freddie Akwati and Nahia, who in 2005 attributed Ghana's abysmal performance on the teams to the pedagogical orientation of Ghanaian classrooms, which again is the situation you're talking about, which they claim is characterized by the transmission and command model, and discourages students from asking questions or engaging in problem-solving activities in order to attain both conceptual and procedural understanding of what they are being taught. A similar report by Fletcher indicated that mathematics teachers at the basic and high school levels in Ghana continue to place undue emphasis on memorization and imitation, rather than helping students acquire conceptual understanding, the skills of reasoning, proving, and discovery.
Reasoning, proving,
and discovery.
Fletcher
pointed out that the difficulties involved...
And let me add, deriving.
Okay.
Charlie, at some level of maths, we ask you to derive. Given that this and this and that, derive the Schrödinger formula.
So, it says that Fletcher pointed out that the difficulties involved in switching from the transmission approach to discovery approach include counteracting the effect of the WAEC assessment system that encourages rote learning and recall of facts in lieu of helping students build concepts, apply maths concepts, and use various strategies in solving mathematics problems.
So this is a big conversation. We'll read a few comments. By the way, not to be overly negative, I really want you to tell me who your best maths teacher has been. As I said, the best maths institution I know outside the formal secondary school system was run by Mr. Avle.
Okay.
He used to teach at Presec, and then he started a school called Preset Paysetters. I think now he runs a university somewhere in Sugakofe. This man saved many lives because I have a lot of friends who went to his school, private class. It wasn't that expensive as well. They were at Okanse Junction. And he would do the initial class to sort of make you know the thing is easy. Then he had all these university guys who had a certain method of teaching math. Like I still remember some of my notes in simplification. Like you will be surprised. Is the thing this easy?
Yes.
It's almost like are they trying to trick you into making the thing look so easy?
I had the I have the similar story. I struggled with mathematics a lot. I think I was a decent student, but I struggled with mathematics all through until I met the late Mr. Gambra. And everything Mr. Gambra, his teaching style is very different from what I had been exposed to. And
not the command.
No.
And
yes,
what's the other one they call it?
Yes, and it was by the time I met Mr. Gambra when I was in senior SHS 1. I started taking lessons from him during the vacation when I returned home. And by the time Mr. Gambra was done with me, I was like, so why had I been against math all this while?
I want to encourage school heads, particularly private school heads, because they have a lot more freedom, to do more peer-to-peer engagement and comparisons. Because looking at what the BEC results have shown and the WASI results, schools should not wait for GES to say they are going to improve. If you're a private school and there's an event that's trying to help even discuss. For example, I think most private schools in the country, let's assume in Ashanti region or Greater Accra, they should have a meeting and discuss the BEC results and compare and contrast what went wrong. They should be able to say, okay, these are the 20 schools in Tema. Let's have a meeting with all our
BEC or WAS?
Both. BEC. Let's say BEC, basic.
But we've been told that there's a difficulty in even the current grading system that is in place. Makes it difficult to do a continuous assessment of how students are performing.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying, that
at the BEC level.
You see, let's assume the government never gives out the information. If you're a head teacher, let's assume you presented 100 candidates, and maybe only 10 got 1 in maths. You should go to call your maths teacher, call the students or other teachers, and have a discussion about what happened in the exam, whether the students deviated, whether it was the approach you used, or whether they were simply marked down. What I'm saying is that we shouldn't, if you don't inquire into why things happen, you cannot improve. And this Fama Nyame attitude of, and I'm not saying go to court. Fama Nyame is not just saying go to court. Fama Nyame is also saying, well, God decides, so I'll take it like that. No, I'm not going to take it like that. If only 10% of my students got A in a subject, and I was expecting 30%, I'm going to call the teachers. We're going to have a meeting. How did we teach them? Let's try and remember what they wrote in the exam. Okay, let's have a comparison. Let's talk to other schools. What did you get? What are we doing wrong? How can we improve? You cannot improve a society that does not question things. So no school should accept the results they get just as a given. Now, not accepting it that does not mean go necessarily to court or go and challenge WAEC, but it also means you can have an inquest. And then you can also do peer review and say, okay, not peer, what I mean is benchmarking. Compare us. Okay, what was the best school in Accra? How did they do it? What methods are their teachers using? All right. For me, development, I always say this. In Ghana, we feel like everything depends on just the government. Okay, let's assume you're going to have a lousy government for the past 20 years. What are you going to do? Are you going to destroy your kids' future? You have to find a way. So even within your school, you should be able to have a system of improving performance irrespective of what the government does. You should be able to say, okay, let's review the way we teach science in this school. Let's get some experts to come and talk to us. Call somebody, and let him come and do a workshop with your science teachers about how to teach science. Let's not accept this failure as, oh, it is the Lord who knows, so God knows it, so God, no! You have to, why? if you accept that your students will be bad at math, they'll never improve. You should look. There was a man I used to interview on this program, Mr. Anku, Professor Anku. I think he died 2 years ago. This man's sole purpose in life was to improve the way math is taught. And he spent his whole life doing that. Okay? And I'm saying that private schools, public schools, head teachers, maths teachers, let's take responsibility. Let's not make it, look, I don't agree with some of the things the government is doing in education. Okay, but I can't spend my whole life complaining about it. As I sit here, I teach my kids maths. When I go home and their class is not in, I take a phone maker and I'm teaching maths. I'm reading maths notes because I have to be responsible. I cannot say the system is bad, people are not well. I don't have dollars to go and be paying some big school. So I have to teach them the subject myself. And I'm trying to say to parents and to teachers that irrespective of how bad the system is, you can produce a good student. One of my mates from university, her daughter was second in the spelling bee. She did a course just 1 year behind me. She works in a big institution. She's very busy. How did her daughter get to know spelling so much that, despite her parents' busy schedule, she was able to win? And she's not an only child. So, parents should not listen to this topic and just blame the government. They must take responsibility. If you, the kind of English you know, if you decide that you are going to teach your kids, even help them to read for 1 hour a week, do you know what that would mean? The failure of society rests on collective leadership failures. And I'm saying that school heads must rise up and lead. It is unacceptable for 1/3 of our core maths to be failing maths. Whether you are in a deprived government school or in a privileged private school, these numbers are a reproach to you too. We cannot point fingers at just Educhum and his people and WAEC. You have to take responsibility. How are you teaching maths? What tools are you using? What new methods are you experimenting? What extra help are you giving your students? One of the things I agree with the minister is, I don't agree with everything he does. One of the things he said is that value addition is the proof that you are a good institution. If you can pick students from deprived communities and add value to them, you are doing the work of education. Education is a ministry. So education heads, don't throw your hands in despair because results are bad. Come up with ways of improving your students' performance. That's why you are there, not to just collect school fees. Anyway, yeah.
And Bernard, I think it's also important that we also have a way of assessing the performance of the teachers or the tutors in this particular field. Because you note that elsewhere, a lot of work goes into asking students, how is your experience with a particular teacher? That feedback from the students would help determine whether the tutor or the teacher is the ideal candidate to be doing that particular job. But almost at all levels of our educational calendar, ladder, we do not seem to have that. Of course, you have a semblance of it in the universities, but at the basic level, at the secondary school level, there's no way of going to complain about how a particular teacher is teaching a particular topic. And majority of the times, you have a huge part of the class left behind. Because the way Godfrey will comprehend how Mr. Kofi Igo would teach mathematics is not the same way I will comprehend that. So the important thing is trying to find the gaps in the classroom and then doing everything possible to carry everybody along. And that's why I made the point about Mr. Jeramado. Jeramado was so calm, so fantastic about teaching the subject that even if you are the last person in the class, when he asks the question, do you understand? You say, you don't understand. Say, all right, don't worry. I'll go over it again. And he will spend his time to explain the whole thing to you. And he will even encourage you to come to the staff common room
for more lessons.
He
should be the rule, not the exception. So you notice we are mentioning Mr. Avle, Mr. Jeramado. There are not many. Because most people listening to this program had a bad math experience. And they can't be right. I'm coming to you to finish up on the article because the research report also identified other gaps in the questioning itself and the kind of questions that were asked. And I think some of these reflective 20-year reports should advise national policy, but can also be picked up by school heads to apply to their own local context. So I'm going to come to Godfrey in a second. I just want to announce, if you want to contribute to this discussion, on education, we're basically talking about the private WASI, 33% F9 in core maths, and not to denigrate social studies. It's an important subject. I'm just saying that the relatively, you see, we use social studies in a very pejorative term to say social studies is like, oh, to be fair, social studies is essentially, if you have common sense, you want to pass social studies. Okay? But mathematics, I think, should be the foundation of building any society. All right? Mathematics and understanding the nature of things should be at the basis of every educational system. And if 1/3 of your WASI private candidates are failing maths, your future is in jeopardy.
And these are repeat candidates.
It's a clear and present danger for the type of decision makers we'll be making, because some of these people find themselves in the politics. He had F9 in maths, he will become a party chairman. Or he will become a DCE who doesn't understand measurement. He cannot reason. And he will be taking decisions to affect your children's future. So let's not make it look like it's far away. If 1/3 of your private WASI candidates are failing core maths, you have a national emergency. It may not be shouting on the front page of the graphic, but I'm telling you, your country is at risk, because even as you speak, your best artisans are from Francophone Africa. Some of your artisans can't draw straight lines. Some of your mechanics can't fix a simple car because the basics are wrong. And when there's wrong mathematics, people die. Go and ask Ghana Standards Authority. When people wrongly calibrate, it can lead to death. So it's not just a feel-good topic. If the citizens aren't well trained in maths, you cannot. Every prospering society, the middle-level managers, the technicians, they have a certain sense of training and understanding. Go to Germany, go and ask them. So let's not take that 1/3 failure in core maths lightly. Look, somebody came on this show to teach people at ATTC how to do plumbing. That if you go to that school, they have a program to help you install. So now the equipment are so sophisticated that you must go to a special training to install just that product.
Wow.
So you can say you've gone to technical school,
yet you don't know how to do it.
So let's not make it I think this should be where the policymakers should be prioritizing. These type of reports that are done, not just analyzing like, free SHS versus non-free SHS. So you can say free SHS has worked.
The question is, what is he giving you? Is he giving you?
What is the content of the course?
That's funny.
What aspect of their development does the training produce? Abstract, reality. These are the points. I think you should read the last two paragraphs there.
For you.
Okay,
so it says that in terms of the context characteristics, the results indicate that the majority of the items was framed within an abstract, pure math context. Specifically, about 70% of the items on the WASI core maths was framed within abstract, pure math context, with 15% each framed within semi-reality and real-life reference context, respectively. Again, the fact that more than 2/3 of the items on the WASI core maths were framed within abstract context is disconcerting amidst the several contemporary curriculum and policy recommendations in the mathematics education community advocating for mathematics teaching and learning in real-life context. And they go on to quote Professor Anamwa Mensah and co. It says even more troubling is the fact that the two most referenced educational reform documents in Ghana, as the report of the Education Commission on Basic Education of the 1987 Educational Reform and the report of the President's Committee on Review of Education Reforms in Ghana of the 2007 Educational Reform Program, that's Professor Anamwa Mensah, placed strong emphasis on the need for school mathematics to help students establish the basic relevance between knowledge and everyday experience, as well as providing students with a non-specialized type of training characterized by a wide application, universal value, and great intellectual appeal. Consequently, one would have expected to see a reflection of these recommendations in the contextual nature of the WASI core math assessment. However, the results point to the contrary.
We will share the aspects of this that are relevant on our website for those who are interested in it. I just want to...
With the permission of the author?
Yes,
yeah,
of course.
I'm
reading this because I have a license.
Yes, and we are also trying to use research to mainstream discussion. We don't want the discussion to just be about our sentiment. That this is and I'm grateful that somebody sat down and did a 20-year review. I mean, how precious is that?
So let me just give you the two. So I'm reading from James Dogbe, Department of Mathematics and Stats, Texas A&M University. And
Ghanaian.
Yes, and I'm sure John is his brother. Yes, Department of Economics, University of Nebraska, Omaha.
Wow.
The two of them, so James Dogbe and John Dogbe sat down to do a 20-year assessment of WASI core maths.
20-year.
Yes.
I mean, like if I am a policy maker, this is gold.
It's like you mine it.
20-year assessment. Yeah. You know, this is like honey. You know, so congrats to them. And it's not the knowledge, it's the application that's important.
Yeah. What do we do with it?
And I can't say this enough, that where we are now, there is a big disconnect between what policymakers want to achieve, because a lot of it is driven by their partisan interests or their short-term electoral outcomes, versus what is in the interest of our future. And I want to say to school leaders, to head teachers, that they must rise up and lead. They must build model schools. They must seek help. There's a lot of help available. There's a lot of material available. They must collaborate. No man is an island. They must compare notes. They must ask questions. There are civil society platforms on education. You can decide to say, okay, go to Kofi Asare, Africa Education, and say, Kofi Asare, we are 3 head teachers from schools in Lankwantanang. We want to understand what is happening with WASI results or BC results in the past 5 years. Let's talk about it. Or let's have a discussion about what your research says about the best way we can improve maths outcomes. Maybe you've taken over a school in Georgia and the pass rate is 6%. You want to move it to 30%. You go to the district education director. You speak to him. What can I do? Speak to other schools. What can we do to improve outcomes? That's my thing. When people lead, like people should not just sit down and say, "Oh, Charlie, we can do small. We can, you know." If we have that attitude, then it's a disincentive, because look, the reason they put you in that school is to make a change. They didn't put you there to be a placeholder.
Yep.
You know, and we are failing the future of our country if we accept this level of failure. This level of failure in mathematics is not good. Speaking of which, did you miss out in the January admissions for university? Heritage Christian University is offering you the chance to join our April intake with a 50% waiver for fresh students. The university has since 2018 been giving up to 300,000 cedis as startup grants to a number of its students to start their own businesses through the Startup Challenge. We've also intentionally built a technology environment in which our students do not need to buy books before they can study. All they need is a laptop. We're located at Amasaman behind the Olympic Stadium, and we are affiliated to KNUST, accredited by GTech. Programs include BBA in accounting, marketing, HR, banking and finance, business infotech, and more. We also have BSc Infotech and Information Security and Bachelor of Theology. Call us on 054-7777-731 or dial *789 *300#, or go to hcuc.edu.gh. Yes.
I'm even toying with the idea of reading theology.
You alone, you've learned economics, you've learned law, you've learned vision. You want to add theology to it? You're a big man. It's good to learn. I like it. I like the learning. It's a very important part of our development. But don't become book long.
What is book long?
Book long?
We said this thing.
No, I mean, what I'm trying to say is that you see. Let me apply what I'm saying. You studied economics. You apply it in your everyday work as a journalist. And then you studied law, which you are practicing and also using to help me here with law. So I can't say you are book long because you are applying your knowledge. Book long is you went for a master's in law, went for a master's in economics, go for a master's in theology, and then just because you can do it, went for a master's in ICT. And then we don't even know how you are using it. So you can learn as much as you want so long as you apply it.
Okay.
That's my only point. So book long, in my view, is not applying what you've learned. So you become just bookish. Okay, so please go for theology. I hear Trinity is good. Maoli Tikata is there. You learn Greek.
Yes.
You learn hermeneutics, homiletics, and all those things. So it's very powerful. In fact, when you study Greek, it will help you in your spoken English.
Yeah.
Because a lot of our root words are Greek. So go. So Greek, Latin, and Hebrew. So
Chalimali was reading some Hebrew the other time.
But do you know that like some of the people we admire the most, Martin Luther King, Kwame Nkrumah, what did they study? Theology, philosophy.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at Kwame Nkrumah's reasoning,
philosophical in many ways.
He didn't do statistics, or he didn't do mathematics, so he just did philosophy and theology. Yet, I mean, see how look at his thinking. So it's also not how you learn; it's how your head absorbs it
and how you comprehend.
Because I know totally degrees bebele shamelo no.
Professor, Doctor, Nana.
And these days, Obiako school. But school in Komumu.
They say that when you are going for the job, they say, "We'll bring this certificate, You have this certificate. They have worked hard for the thing. The thing I bang, but they say, now they're asking you, where is the certificate? So they do the thing and put it down. So when they say, where is this one? You raise it.
Get the certificate too. But what I'm saying is that let the thing go. I always tell people that when I went to do my master's degree, it's not the exams I passed, but there are certain rigors they took me through that I'll be forever grateful for. So you are writing, I don't know how many thousands of words in your dissertation. The discipline you need to write it every day.
15,000, yeah.
How to do your literature review. Reading. I read about 50 books to write that thing.
Referencing.
Right? And then how to bring different ideas into one.
And reach your own conclusions.
My brother. Independent thinking. How to take a position. How to analyze your results.
How to disagree with an authority.
And then working in a group where you are in a class, syndicate group. It's easy to do your own work. But it's okay, there are 9 of you. You are supposed to work with a recycling company to improve their processes. All 9 of you must agree. That's real life.
There are people who will not do the work.
You come out of the syndicate group, you are shouting, you are arguing, but you are becoming a better person. So go to school, but let the school go to you. Don't just go and collect the certificate. Because see, you can call yourself a PhD, but no, but that's true. But if you interview people, you say, this guy is good. This guy is top. Meanwhile, one has a bigger degree than the other one. So we are not discouraging going to school. We are saying apply yourself to the thing. Okay, because our country has so many problems. If you have the privilege of going to school, don't waste it. It's like, so many people can't go to school. So you are in school. Read the book. Understand the thing. Don't just go and pass the exam. Because so many people can't even get a chance to pay their school fees and go to school. Like, you are in a school and you're not learning. Like, what are you doing in the school? You are wasting the thing. Study the thing. Study to show yourself approved. Burn the midnight candle. Read. Discuss it. Those days when we go to school and read, then we have discussions, intellectual arguments to refine our ideas. It's very important because we need a society of thinkers to move the country forward. People who believe in something, who have their ideas refined. Not just like degrees for nothing. So please, let's improve ourselves so that the country can do better. Ghana depends on us, please. Sky, read some comments for me.
So this one says, Bernard, on this issue of education, all I can tell you is let the professionals be in charge of policy and implementation. The politicians are extending their ineptitude into all sectors of our society. We loved the education minister in the first term because everyone said he doesn't talk like a politician. Yes, we need professionals to man our institutions. Your director of education, Ernest. Let me go to another comment. This one is coming in from Yaira in Akimoda. Says, good morning, Bernard. The problem with mathematics is at the foundation level. A lot of math teachers are simply not up to the task, especially at most private schools. Most of these teachers are themselves struggling to pass their WAS exams in maths, and these same teachers are asked to teach mathematics at that level. This one says, good morning, Bernard. The bigger problem is how the tutors go about teaching mathematics in our schools. Some teachers can reduce your interest in the subject to the bare minimum or the barest minimum. Richard from Kanewu, Tema West.
Okay.
This one from Joseph in Afienya says, good morning, Bernard and team. The story of Mrs. Sky is true because during my time in the primary school level in the 1960s, the math teachers caned us so much during math classes.
Look at that.
That I hated the subject till date.
Look at that.
Charlie, serious matter.
Look at that.
This one is from Joseph in Afieja. This one says, so now we can all see one of the reasons why the Togolese artisans do a better job compared to most of our Ghanaian artisans. They have a better mathematical foundation. Let me take you to this one from Pamford in Koforidua.
Koftown.
Yeah. It says, Citi CBS,
Yes.
the problems with the math subject start from lower primary because most students get to JHS without knowing multiplication table. So you teach them maths and he or she closes his or her mind or says that I don't like mathematics. It makes teaching such a student difficult because he has closed his mind or her mind off the subject. Just like teaching a student English language in JHS and they do not know the basic tenses for communication.
Sky, one of the things I worry when I'm teaching my boys maths and I say, oh, what is 6 times 4? They say 24. Then when I say 6 boys have to each fetch water 4 times, how many buckets do they have? And they start looking at me strange. Then I say, Aloski, there's a problem here. See, so a system that he knows 6 for 24 as an answer, but when you ask him a question about somebody doing something 6 times, and he doesn't seem to connect it.
The connection
It's a serious. So teachers should stop this rote thing. 6 for 24. Look, if the guy understands the concept of multiplication,
the connection.
Look, they will start even seeing the patterns in the look. One of the beauties of mathematics is that the more you understand it, the simpler it becomes because math is just full of patterns. For example, if you do the 9 times table, in fact, I was just talking to one of the boys. It's like 919, 9. So 9109, 9218. That's 18. 93 27 27, 94 36 36, 95 45 96. Do you know when you finish listing it on the board, you notice that 0 9, then 0 increases to 1, 9 reduces to 8, so 18. Then 1 improves to 2. 8 comes down to 7, 27. So they write, so the 9 times table, because it's 1 below 10, is reducing all the time. So it's 09, 27, 18, 27, 36. So you don't even need him to now memorize. So he can remember
the pattern.
That's the point. So when a child starts seeing that pattern, he says, so this was just so you see that at this purest, math is discovery of a pattern that you didn't know exists. It gives you the tools. Do you get me? So this idea of mental is senseless. I mean, why do you want to wake me up and say 10, 10, 20? Like under what condition do I need to use that in my life? That I wake up without bathing and I should know that 9981. But if I can have a method of showing or deriving that 81, then I know it. So this beating people to remember 99 is backward. So he should memorize it for what purpose?
That's a question we always ask those days. That what am I going to use this for in a particular class or in a work?
So if you notice,
so that connection has to be established.
So somebody said something that if the life, and I'm going to use a preacher analogy, if what you see in the pews is not good, look at what is preached in the pulpit. In the same way, if what you see in the WASI result is not good, go to your training colleges. Do you see the analogy? So in the same way that you blame people's bad behavior after sermons to the quality of the preaching that is given on Sunday, you can blame the quality of results they are getting to how their teachers are being trained. Because it's the way their teachers are trained that determines how the teachers teach. And it's the way the teachers that determines how they approach the subject. So I think there should be a special focus on teacher training in mathematics as a consequence of this WASI
report.
Oh, yes.
Okay, let's take more comments. Salam says, good morning, Bernard. I have my dad and Mr. Doe, who are currently with Bank of Ghana, to thank for my strong maths background during my GHS days. At Biheko, Mr. Chachu, or is it Chaku? Actually, Chaku made elective maths easy for me. They are all my geniuses. And it says that I will transfer this by the grace of God to my children. This one says, Bernard, I agree with Richard. I don't know if the Togolese have a special way of teaching maths. They are very good at it. There's a Pure Friend School on the Holy Family compound at Mataeko and has a lot of Togolese people there. These some join the English system and they are brutal when it comes to mathematics. This one says...
Somebody is minding policy and ensuring that the products of those systems are good in maths. Somebody is minding their business.
This one says, Bernard, tell Sky, Sir Calculus taught me back in school, in amazing laugh school. Calculus together with Sir Douglas really made maths very simple for us back then. This is Nay listening from Tema.
Let me... All right, we still have more comments, but if you're planning your next adventure, remember, it's not just the destination, it's how you get there. So one of the best bits about holidays is the food. So wouldn't it be great if you could get a taste of your destination before you even arrive there? On Emirates, you can dine on gourmet meals inspired by regional cuisine. And what better way to toast the start of your holiday than with a choice of free-flowing drinks? And of course, you can expect world-class service along every step of the way from Emirates award-winning cabin crew. So wherever you decide to fly better on Emirates. You get so much more on Emirates economy. And now let's talk about data analytics revolution. Now, if you want insights from data for decision making, join the data analytics revolution and empower your team to work smart, save time, and deliver insights from data using the world's most powerful tools in business, Microsoft Excel and Power BI. Finance Skills Hub offers hands-on practical training to corporates and individuals in Excel for work, data analytics, and financial modeling to help you improve productivity in the office. Now, go to finexskillshub.com or call 0244782356 to sign up. Now, you know that I've been involved in this thing with some of our colleagues at work, and Charlie, I'm being exposed big time. You know? So myself, Nathan, Susu Graham, Jude Duncan, and
the rest of the team,
Daniel and Norega, we are going through this training. And Charlie, you know, we grow. It's not easy, but we are struggling. We are there. You know, they'll give the thing, and Charlie, man, they chop last.
Charlie, you did it.
But are they there? You know, we are learning new skills, how to use Excel to manipulate things.
Charlie.
You know, yesterday I was doing Nigeria election results. You know, I'm growing. So if I don't force myself,
you won't be able to.
You know, I don't want to become an anecdotal journalist who only uses, if not A then B, if not B. No.
Even this doesn't win.
You see, for me, for every tool I use in my economics journalism, I want to be able to derive the thing. So I should be able to calculate it, put the data in, and see it myself. That's what gives me the authority. So, Charlie, if you want to learn, call them. Finex Skills, they'll help you. You know, Excel is not easy, but they'll help you. 02. Don't write Excel on your CV and not be able to manipulate it. If you come to me that you can do Excel, I'll give you a spreadsheet.
You'll be sweating.
So 0244782356. They can help you brush up on Excel and also teach you something called Power BI.
Oh, do they do home service too?
Yes, but you pay a bit more. They have. I think what they do, which is good, is that they have weekend classes, they have evening classes, and they have special. So like they can see the program from maybe 1st March to 30th March.
Okay.
Where you go twice a week, and Sky, you will know something.
Oh, that's good.
So call them on 0244782356. 0244782356. Because even as a lawyer.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, imagine a lawyer with data analytics.
Charlie, that's a solid one.
Charlie, you go make money.
Charlie,
you already have money.
Yeah. Oh, you know. I'll claim it in Jesus' name.
Amen. Let's talk about Webster University. Start your undergraduate or master's program this March at Webster and get up to 40% scholarship. Open global doors when you earn a quality American master's degree in international relations, business admin, or human resource management in just about 16 months. MBA students can choose a general MBA or specialize in marketing, corporate finance, corporate comms, IT management, cybersecurity and project management, or digital marketing. Admissions are open for undergraduate and graduate programs. Call 054-0120-849 or 054-0120-940 or go to webster.edu.gh for more information. More comments?
Okay, let's take more comments. This one is coming in from someone who calls himself Ignite. And it says, Guy is right. My maths teacher always told us we will fail.
Look at that.
Oh, how can you tell your students that? The man was actually teaching us to fail. The man writes on the board, stands in front of the class, takes a long look at us, and then says, try this. We have never been taught that topic too. He beats us all the time. Some students even escaped his class.
Oh, Charlie.
And I mean, escape. More comments are coming in. This one is coming in from Daniel, who is in Dansoman. It says,
Charlie.
Good morning, Bernard and team.
Morning.
I can relate to what Richard is saying. I suffered a similar fate.
Look at that.
At my village, Bare, in the Tongo district in the
Tong?
Oh,
no, Tongo
in the Akwa East. Yeah,
Okay,
Boga, yes. Yes, so he's basically relating to that.
Teacher was just brutalizing him.
Whipping them left, right, and center. And the king, Charlie, Bernard, I get you, pa. A mathematics teacher in Adisado, nicknamed Jackie Chan, took me through the entire syllabus over 2 terms in my final year at Adisado.
Look at that.
And had it not been for that intervention, I would never have been able to excel.
Which means that we have teachers who know how to do this.
Yeah.
The other thing I need to say is that in Ghana,
you have to be clear
when they hear that some teacher is good, then they start meaning the teacher.
Some people mean the teacher. Some people within the system mean the teacher.
You know this our system where, like they say, who the one our teacher is, a good teacher. There's this culture of they mean you.
Yeah. But let's also not fall into the temptation of we are still talking about passing exams here.
No, hold on. I'm using your research.
Yeah, no. I'm talking about this. The messages that are coming through. Yeah. So those who are sending the message post passing the exam.
Do you still understand?
Do you still understand it?
And
apply it? If we put those things in front of you right now, you won't say, "Oh, it was 10 years ago," and I'm missing you.
But Godfred, you see, the reason I believe my maths for it was successful is that I'm giving you an example. So the application. So when you go to the University of Ghana, you can choose to do economics either as a humanities student or a science student.
BSc.
But usually, one of the things that department does which I like is they'll ask you, okay, what did you do in level 100? Right now, if you did maths at level 100 at the elective level, they would let you skip some subjects because they assume some knowledge. Yeah. Otherwise, they will teach you mathematics required for economics. Yes. Okay. So I'm saying, because I did maths at level 100, we didn't do that mathematics. I didn't do that. Some of my mates did it. But we who didn't even do that maths, at 400, we did very well in econometrics and some of the more mathematical dimensions of economics because the maths foundation Achi gave us was right. So even though I didn't pursue maths fully. So to answer his question, you don't even have to remain a mathematician. Are you able to apply that maths in other fields? Is that maths grounding you enough to give you confidence? Because when you have good maths, you can do many things. Some of the best financial analysts I know studied science and maths in secondary school. Some of the best actuaries I know are pure mathematicians.
Yeah.
All right. Some of the best economists, Steve Nash.
Yeah,
all right.
The Nash equilibrium.
You get me? I know there's a pushback against the over mathematicization of economics, where everything is becoming maths. And I agree that economics must not become pure maths. That's not the purpose of the subject. All right? Or economia, Greek word, economics, administration, management, essentially frugality. So I get the point. But we're saying that if your basic, I think every school should have a maths metric. Okay. You see how schools do spelling. You see it's easy to do spelling and reading things. Every school should have a maths metric to say the average student in this school, when it comes to maths, dear, they like it, they are not intimidated by it, and they understand its language because maths is a language.
In fact, the policy should be don't leave anybody behind.
Thank you.
That should be the policy.
Thank you.
Because throughout life, these people would apply it. I mean, sometimes people come in and they are working for you. Before you know it, they are drilling something. Did you calculate? Did you measure? Did you do this? No, they didn't do it. Oh, I'm using my eyes to do it. And then you tell them, no.
Maths phobia.
Yeah, that's right. Because he didn't do it.
Or he's supposed to calculate, like you give a painter, like the way you can see how someone is, the way he writes is.
So this whole area thing, left and right, they will do a
you don't get up.
So if they say paint this particular wall, if you know the measurement up to that point, the top and then the down, you will be able to calculate how much paint you need to paint the area.
No, they'll say by experience. Or see experience, or see the experience the age man now. It's by experience then you. Now they will be experience then you.
And you see, he will come back to you after you have given all your money to him that and so. How did you give me an estimate and this fell short of the requirement for painting the place?
It is a major problem. Somebody's cutting blocks for you. The quantity surveyor has done his work, and your contractor cannot interpret even what this QS means for materials, because calculations it's a serious situation. And so you can save yourself a lot. And sometimes when you insist and say, oh, my calculation shows that this is not right, so okay, master, you're correct. So it's so prevalent, and we take it for granted. It's such a serious thing, So
a couple more messages. Let me read this one. I hope she doesn't mind me reading. I don't think she's just. I am listening. I am also a victim. My math teachers were horrible. I went to a private school for GSS, and I remember one of my math teachers telling me to make sure I married an intelligent man because I was not smart. This person went to Achimota school. Says at Achimota, Mr. Akwete told me that I should be withdrawn from school because I failed the term exam.
Look at that.
I was always on the top achievers list for other subjects and would often have my essays read in front of the whole school. Yet maths was a problem. Fast forward, I was selected from 3,000 candidates globally to get an MBA outside Ghana. It was there that I met a Vietnamese man who broke down math to me. By the time he was done, I was teaching international business finance. The way math is taught in Ghana cuts short the potential of many people.
I have a friend who went to school in the north of Ghana who said when he was in A-level, he didn't have a maths teacher. He went to university in Central Cape, UCC, found himself in the UK. Long story short, he's one of the best maths teachers in the UK.
Wow.
He didn't have an A-level maths teacher. In fact, when he wrote O-level, they studied maths on their own. But getting to the UK and just getting acquainted with the way maths is taught, getting some courses done. Now he teaches maths. Sometimes schools call him and say, Charlie, we have a special program. I want you to come and solve for our maths teachers.
Wow.
So it tells you that this student how can a student be the best essay writer and be dumb?
It means that
it's the maths, it's the teaching. Somebody who can write, say that, read in front of the whole school. The other thing we make is that when our kids, we say, oh, are you mathematical or you are verbal? So you have a child who speaks very well. So she's the reading type, she's not the maths type. It's not true. We are not teaching them the maths well. So we assume that some of our kids, some kids are very Sky, some of your children are very numbers based. And then some are very word based. The word based ones are not non-mathematical. You have to use a different approach to teach them the maths.
So that they can comprehend.
Yes, because they understand their thinking process is different. But you're trying to teach a child who's expressive using some sort of introverted approaches to teaching maths. It's not going to work. So and I'm saying that, there are people who are masters in teaching people how to teach. You see, teaching is such a powerful
knowledge.
A skill that we should not assume that teaching there is for those who drop out. No, teaching,
you're leaving something behind.
We are all here because of our teachers.
Yeah, but come to think of it, now that I sit here, I'm thinking about a math teacher that I used to like, but I'm thinking about his reputation was simply born out of being able to run through the syllabus faster than anybody else.
And we like that in secondary schools.
And we all thought he was good.
Silla.
He got the 3 weeks very Silano.
All right, later on, we'll be talking to another partner for the Heritage Caravan. They'll be joining us shortly. Before I go there...
Are they giving tickets?
No. I don't think so. Do you want to boost your business with social media? Join the social media masterclass for business executives, including lawyers.
Yes.
Right? Now, we are going to teach you techniques, tips, and best practice and insight from leading industry practitioners and professionals. It's this Saturday, the 4th of March at Alisa Hotel, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's only 1,450 cedis. Now, Maximus is the facilitator of this course.
I see.
He will teach you how to understand social media, how to audit your business's social media account, how to develop content using Hexagon framework. Hexagon.
Wow,
Hexagon. How to engage your social media audience, and he will also help you with insights from the Digital Report 2023.
Okay.
Who can attend? MDs, marketing and sales managers, brands managers, communication managers, customer service managers, entrepreneurs, and others. Call 0244-767-801 to register for this social media masterclass, or dial *713 *33 *032 hash to register now. One of the things you can learn.
Maximus, am I allowed to come and cover it?
No. Wait.
I want to come and cover the thing better. So that when I come back on Monday, I'll come and tell you the experience.
No. You these lawyers, you want things for free. Come and pay and learn the thing. It's only 1,450. You billable hours. You for a lawyer at your height of life. If you give me 1 hour of your time doing a case, I'll pay more than 1,450. Maximus is teaching you from 9 to 4 p.m. for only 1,450. What does the average lawyer charge in Ghana per hour?
This is package,
Guy, what is the average amount a lawyer charges for billable?
It depends on where you are on the ladder. There are people who charge you based on.
So like one of the lawyers, when I was in the university, the lawyer we all admired was Yoni Kulendi.
So at that level, what they would charge you, run away.
Yoni Kulendi. Listen to him on radio. Yoni Kulendi.
JSC Yoni Kulendi now.
Yoni Kulendi.
Yeah, JSC Yoni Kulendi.
For many years, he was like my ideal
lawyer.
Yeah, imagine. I can't pay anything less than 10,000.
Yeah. You see, so there is a grade to it. If you are entry level, lawyer,
lawyer is Ankuma.
At that level,
Ankuma.
Yeah. So that one they say, okay, you have 30 minutes of my time.
Or Benti Angel.
Yes, those are the big boys.
Sage. They say when he comes to talk for 1 hour.
Yeah, these are big boys.
David Ofosu Doctor.
Yeah, those are big boys.
You know what I'm saying?
They have internationalized the whole thing.
Big men.
Yes.
That's right. Yeah, I hear that they are authorities.
Yes.
Sometimes when they talk, even the drops of things that come from them, you have to write it down.
Because they have the thing there.
The Chachuchika test of this world.
Yeah.
Kwashi Island. Charlie, heavyweight did the things like, and the one we spoke about yesterday, what's his name?
Professor Dateba.
Imagine. Imagine Dateba. If Dateba is coming to your class to do 1 hour.
Yeah. In fact, everybody in the class.
I'll come early.
Yeah.
Now sit in front.
Yes. The class is always full.
Charlie. Because even the side stories he gives, Charlie.
Because he's experienced the law in action.
Charlie, everything he says is powerful. If you can do it, allow us to record it.
Ordinarily you don't. But I know people who secretly record.
Charlie, because if that man is giving a lecture,
you have to be listening to it over and over again.
Kofi Kumado.
Yes. I mean that.
Constitutional law. My God. Charlie.
It is in a class.
Oh my God. Charlie.
Lawyers call it locus classicus.
Yes. But I have a friend who is getting there.
Okay.
He's called Kelly the Latter.
Oh, my man. Our man.
Kelly. A question of law. He's threatening to come back. Kelly Kwesi the Latter. Charlie, the guy speaks English. I wonder whether I went to school.
No. He was reading the news with a style.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And I hear he speaks in law class too.
Yeah. That's a very calm demeanor.
He has control.
Yeah, control.
But when we were school, he was older than us.
Okay, that means that he agreed.
That's the only problem. Kwesi Kelly the Latter. Charlie, he and the guy called Abuchi, Ken Abuchi.
Oh yeah, Ken Abuchi. I see.
When they invest here, they ran for SRC, they grow too much. So the things they were saying, we didn't. I mean, look, Sky.
You mean the current dean of apps now? Or is it?
I was in the university and they ran for SRC. Charlie, do you know they were talking about South Corporation and things.
Charlie, that one way out of your league.
Kelly, we are in Lagos. We want SRC. Charlie, he said we are in the era of partnerships. This is South Corporation. So what?
This must be Chachu.
Are you applying for US Secretary General or SRC President?
Charlie.
He lost. He lost. Because Charlie, the thing, Charlie. Sky.
Yeah.
I was in the guy says South Corporation. And this is level 200 matter.
Level 200 matter. You mean they have internalized the script of Yao Graham?
If you vote for these people, if you vote for this guy, he will privatize the school. South Corporation. Kelly and Ken Abuchi. Oh my God. Now, okay, so let's talk about two quick things before we take a break. And for some reason, the education institutions are on the show a lot today, so it's almost like a coincidence we're talking about education. So the Institute of Local Government Studies is calling for admissions.
This around the...
Yes, if you're a fresh graduate from SHS or a matured applicant 25 years and above, you're thinking of acquiring a degree with specialization in governance and local development, look no further than the Institute of Local Government Studies. We have opened admissions for diploma in or diploma bachelor of bachelor and master's degree programs. Now, some of our programs are MPhil and MSc Public Sector Management, MPhil and MSc Local Economic Development, which I think all MMDCs must be made to learn by force. MPhil and MSc in Environmental Science Policy and Management, MSc in Public Financial Management, MSc in Urban Governance. Charlie, we study these things in Ghana. Wow. MSc in Development Management, MSc Sanitation and Water Governance, MSc in Procurement and Contracts Management. We also have BSc Governance and Development Studies, BA in Public Sector Management, BA in Community Development, BA in Social Development, and a Diploma in Community and Social Development. We have credible world-class faculty and conducive environment that will ensure that your learning journey is impactful. We have 3 campuses, Ogbojo, Accra Main, and Tamale. Call us on 0599 017 300. That's 0599 017 300. Or visit ILGS on social media to build your capacity for local government.
And one of the things people haven't always understood is the distinction between, say, MA and MSc. Can you explain that?
One is an art, one is a science.
So the science bias one is tilted towards maths and related,
I think
calculations and all that.
I think it depends, because I remember that's a good question. I think, and I may be wrong here, let's assume it's a Master of Science versus a Master of Arts. So if you're doing like marketing or some course in the University of Ghana and it's an MSc, the requirements in your dissertation may be different from the MA. So science, when they add a science to it, there has to be some things you show and prove in your dissertation to justify why you are a master of that science. So let me say a science and an art, and I'm using this as English. So, and there's a difference between a science and an art. A science is something that is a systematic way of acquiring, proving, and applying the knowledge. But arts, so is football a science or an art? There's a science of football heading, which is if you head the ball at this angle with this force, it will go this way. That's the science. But when it talks about the art, Sadio Mane would do it differently from Lionel Messi. So when they say it's an art, there's a bit more freedom, because art talks about creativity. Art, so the art allows you a bit more leverage, but the science constricts you a bit more because the science is a bit more strict.
These are the proven methods.
So I'm using that to say, if they say it's a BSc, some of the things you need to do may be a bit more rigorous, or more structured than when it's an art. Okay, and also because sometimes they use the science because it's a science, and they use the art because it's an art. Okay, so I think that's the best way I can describe it. So the arts is a bit different in its emphasis than the science. Let me do this last one before we come back. Now, GRA, they are reminding all VAT, NHL, and Get Fund levy registered businesses that their CST returns for January should be submitted not later than today, Tuesday the 28th, which is the last working day of the month. File your VAT, NHL, Get Fund, and levy and CST returns early to avoid payment of penalties. Now, the penalty for the VAT NHL one is 500 cedis, and that of the CST is 2,000 cedis. So to avoid all these penalties, go online to taxpayersportal.com and just make your payment, or contact your next GRA office, or go online to ghana.gov or dial *222# to make the payment. We'll be right back with more Citi Breakfast Shows live in Accra, still with education. Stay with us.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is Citi 97.3.
Bet365 is now officially available in Ghana. My G, if you love sports, there's no better way to get a piece of the action. Build your own personalized bet with Bet Builder and select from popular markets on the biggest sports. You fit make multiple selections within a single match. For example, in football, you can choose first goal scorer and both teams to score to create your bet. Charlie, visit the official site at bet365.com.gh. Over 18s only. Terms and conditions apply. Please gamble responsibly.
Hey, nowadays, germs are in the air. Aren't you concerned?
Concerned about what?
About the children, of course. In times like this, they sneeze, cough, and fall ill just like that.
This is why we need to give our children and ourselves a fighting chance with the maximum protection of Dettol soap. Dettol soap not only refreshes you, but it can be used for bathing and washing hands. So keep calm, get Dettol soap.
Dettol protects from up to 100 illness-causing germs.
Dettol is endorsed by the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association.
This advert is FDA approved.
Vodafone Business introduces too much business packages for businesses and SMEs. Yes, it be too much value. It be too much flexibility. It be too much everything. So on Vodafone, too much business. And the best part is you can now take your business up another level. Wow. Choose the voice, data, and SMS package that suits your business size and ambitions with Vodafone Too Much Business. That means more data for your business with the ability to roll over unused data, more SMS, more minutes for Vodafone to Vodafone calls, and Vodafone to other networks, plus free calls amongst your employees, all in one mobile package. There is too much value you get on the best mobile plan in Ghana today. To sign up, SMS start to 050-777-9000 or email vodafonebusiness.gh@vodafone.com.
Vodafone. Further together.
1xBet. Easy betting, easy winnings. 1xBet, the most reliable service to make deposits easily with high odds and numerous bonuses on the spot. Register now at 1xBet.com.gh. Use promo code BESTODDSGH to get 300% bonus up to 3,445 Ghana cedis on your first deposit. Easy to use, easy to have a chance to win. 1xBet, reliable bookmaker. Gambling can be addictive. Bet responsibly. Not for person under 18 years. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission.
Push! Congratulations! A bouncy baby. It's time to feed your baby.
Yes. I want to thank you for your advice to go for the COVID-19 vaccination during my pregnancy. I was worried, but the way you assured me helped me a lot. I had my peace of mind from the fear of getting seriously sick with COVID-19 and also carried my pregnancy to full term without any complications. Now I have a bouncy baby.
I'm glad you took our advice. You see, every pregnant woman needs to know that the COVID-19 vaccine is safe for her and her unborn baby.
You are right, Auntie Ness.
There are people going around spreading rumors.
Yes, so all kinds of wild rumors and disinformation. Look, I got pregnant after my first dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. Went for my second dose while pregnant. Yet, I carried it full term and just delivered a healthy baby. I will go for the booster on my first postnatal visit.
You were right not to listen to them. The vaccine protected you and your baby from severe COVID-19 illness and hospitalization and can protect all pregnant women and their unborn babies. Hey, please, attend to your precious baby.
My beloved baby.
The COVID-19 vaccine is safe for pregnant women and their unborn babies. Protect yourself, protect your baby, get vaccinated now. This message is from the Ministry of Health and Ghana Health Service with support from USAID and partners.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show. The city's biggest conversation.
Time for mental. You, what day did Ghana get independence?
25th December 1987.
You think it's Christmas, eh? You, which country colonized Ghana?
Germany, sir.
You, Brazil. You, how many regions are in Ghana?
One, Greater Accra.
Hi! What's the capital of America?
The White House.
Where is Kenyan?
China.
What's the capital of Mongolia?
Ulaanbaatar.
Who is the president of Iceland?
Olafur Ragnar Grimson.
What is the square root of 12 times 820 divided by 3 minus 4?
57.236352085, sir.
Ha! What is my favorite food?
Gary Soak is the pinch of Inkatie.
You are a foolish boy.
Oh.
What is my shoe size?
42.
What time did I wake up this morning?
4:18 a.m. GMT.
Ha! How many rooms do I have in my house?
Oh, sir, you live in a chamber and hall.
Leave my class. Oh. What primary school did I attend?
In Quatana Experimental 1 and 2.
Foolish boy.
Rock Kevin, rock Kevin, rock Kevin, rock Kevin, rock Kevin, rock Kevin, rock Riddle. Okay. 79 4th June. Generals, lawyers, all doom. More rallies, more boom. Economy quanka, more cool. Riddle. Wait, feeling them. We need back on the gentle giants. Oh, you can sing Wesley Snipes. And mama me shouldn't need too much, cause wait there, over sexy eyes. Riddle. Wait, feeling them. Ne home fano, or should the nikapa. Professor, only Maria Papa. So much pressure, a crown, no one ba. Small economy, ego top, mata. Riddle.
All right, so time check. It's 9:40. Vodafone Business presents Too Much Business, the number one mobile plan for businesses in Ghana. With Vodafone Too Much Business, you have the best mobile plan on the market that gives your business the best value. Means you have the flexibility to choose voice, data, and SMS packages that suit your business style and ambitions. Get more minutes for Vodafone calls and calls to other networks, data, and SMS in one complete mobile package. Start by sending START to 0507 779 000. That's 0507 779 000. Or send an email to vodafonebusiness.gh@vodafone.com. Let Lashibi Funeral Homes help you through the difficult period of the bereavement and of your bereavement. And this is essentially to select products and services you need to ensure your loved ones are fit in send-off.
6 times, no results yet.
And of course, call us on 0509 542 409 or email info@lashibifuneralhomes.com. Lashibi Funeral Homes and Crematorium, dignity for the deceased, comfort for the bereaved. I think there are a few more messages to read.
Yes,
there are some on
yes.
my personal phone. I just want
and
to read.
someone on Twitter as well.
So here's one from a friend of mine who was talking about the lady who I said her daughter did very well in the spelling bee. And she said, Bernard, this is my contribution to the discussion. The only reason why I did general arts in secondary school was because at the time we were choosing secondary schools in JSS, I was struggling with core maths, and my French teacher at the time, who was like a guardian to me in school, advised I wasn't going to get general science in Gehe due to my challenge with mathematics. Soon after we chose the schools, the mathematics teacher was transferred to another school and a new mathematics teacher came. Bernard, there was a sudden turnaround in my performance to the extent that one course I was sure of getting aggregate 1 in at BC was core maths.
Wow.
I continued to Wesley Girls and did elective maths, economics, geography, and French, and the rest is history. Now, this lady was the best graduating student in economics the year after me.
Wow, that's powerful.
She was behind me at Legon. She was the best economics student. She went on to do a master's. She has a PhD.
Wow.
In economics.
In economics.
Yes.
Somebody who could have abandoned the
because
field entirely.
so that maths teacher must be found and publicly flogged. That's what needs to be done. That this maths teacher would have compromised her life if it wasn't that a new teacher came. So there's a crucial role for parents to play, but a very good mathematics teacher makes a lot of difference. Thanks for spending time on such an important subject this morning. Thank you for this message. a few more comments I wanted to read. Godfrey, if you can help me.
Okay, so let me take you, go to the message board. Somebody says that MAs are housed in the arts faculty, MSCs are housed in the science faculty, and mostly depends on the orientation of the university. Because I remember I had a contract to make a CNC design for a welder. It took Pythagoras theory, which I learned so many years ago, to save the situation.
Wow.
Says, can I give us the number of those who pass their mathematics by category of school, that is private or government school? Hello, Bernard and team, thanks for this topic. There's a maths teacher at Corpus Christi School in Community 18 who insults the children and puts fear in them during the class. How can the children learn what he's teaching them? Mr. Kaikwe was a lifesaver.
I hope the Catholic Education Director is listening.
To go and check.
Corpus Christi Community 18, not far from Benjamin Nketiah's house.
Yes.
They say there's a maths teacher there
who's terrorizing students' lives there.
So the director of Catholic schools, please go and check that teacher.
Yeah.
And fish him out or her.
Mr. Kaikwe was a lifesaver for most students around the Sakumo-Natema area in the early 2000s. He was a phenomenal private math teacher. Hi, my name is Sapon from Nungwa. I struggled with math all my days in school until I met one Mr. Metal Nunu. But he made me love the subject. I remember he started with bearings and Pythagoras theorem. Hello, Bernard and team. I hated math so much in JHS till I got to St. Margaret Mary's Senior High School. Hi, Mr. Casper Todatilamti. Popularly known as CEO, made me fall in love with math. I was awarded the third best in math in my second year in school.
Look at that.
As a general art student, that meant a lot to me because I was third. I was third to a lot of my colleagues who were reading business as well. Math, there feels good to understand it so well. And then a couple more.
Go for it.
I struggled with mathematics and later on physics.
Look at that.
Until I met Shiro and Sedi of Vitak Community 7.
Nice
These
one.
two guys are the reasons why I'm where I am today. These math issues. My math teacher will only throw the chalk at me anytime I ask the question in maths class. And he will say, take your class, and then he will leave.
Look at that.
Good morning, I'm Ishmael from
So you
Pusiga.
see how widespread this bad maths teacher thing is.
Yes.
It's like a silent national killer. There's a bad maths teacher everywhere. It's like a pandemic of bad maths teachers. Inflicting fear and miseducation on our future.
Killing the country's future.
Terrible.
This final one, Bernard, I'll take before your next interview. My observation about teaching math in Ghana is that most teachers in mathematics don't teach the basics of math at the basic level. For example, during my time in the early 90s in lower primary, we did addition and subtraction in questions such as 2 plus 2 minus 4 plus 5 minus 8 plus 1. Sometimes longer ones than this. I help my 3 kids do their homework, and none of them has anything like this in their math exercises, even from all 3 different schools they attend. Until the kids understand math like this at the basic level, they'll never get it at the higher. They'll never get it easy at higher levels. Maybe we as parents have to take up that one at home. Bernard and team, hi. My daughter had A1 in English, French, Science, and Social Studies, but D7 in Math in 2015. She was denied entry into university. This has caused us untold hardship, including financially, and she's now pursuing a degree at almost age 30, all because of some government policy. Politicians must stay clear out.
Well,
of
I just want to say something
education.
that if that D7 could have been improved, because somebody who has an A1 in English and French and Science is actually a very smart person.
Smart person, yeah.
And I don't know if you had the resources to do extra class. I have a friend who did WASI and didn't do well. And I sort of sponsored them to go to this preset people school. And she did pretty decently in the maths after that. So some schools are good at bringing out the best in your maths knowledge. And I feel like sometimes giving up and saying, Charlie, because I have D7, I'll go to university, it's not right. Let's talk about one of our partners and sponsors for the Heritage Caravan this year.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Push! Congratulations, a bouncy baby. It's time to feed your baby.
Yes, I want to thank you for your advice to go for the COVID-19 vaccination during my pregnancy. I was worried, but the way you assured me helped me a lot. I had my peace of mind from the fear of getting seriously sick with COVID-19 and also carried my pregnancy to full term without any complications. Now I have a bouncy baby.
I'm glad you took our advice. You see, every pregnant woman needs to know that the COVID-19 vaccine is safe for her and her unborn baby.
You are right, Auntie Ness.
There are people going around spreading rumors.
Yes, so all kinds of wild rumors and misinformation. Look, I got pregnant after my first dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. Went for my second dose while pregnant. Yet, I carried it full term and just delivered a healthy baby. I will go for the booster on my first postnatal visit.
You were right not to listen to them. The vaccine protected you and your baby from severe COVID-19 illness and hospitalization and can protect all pregnant women and their unborn babies. Hey, please, attend to your precious baby.
My beloved baby.
The COVID-19 vaccine is safe for pregnant women and their unborn babies. Protect yourself, protect your baby, get vaccinated now. This message is from the Ministry of Health and Ghana Health Service with support from USAID and partners.
Bet365 is now officially available in Ghana. My G, if you love sports, there's no better way to get a piece of the action. Build your own personalized bet with Bet Builder and select from popular markets on the biggest sports. You fit make multiple selections within a single match. For example, in football, you can choose first goal scorer and both teams to score to create your bet. Charlie, visit the official site at bet365.com.gh. Over 18s only. Terms and conditions apply. Please gamble responsibly.
Adjoa, Grandma looked very peaceful. I was completely amazed when I saw her neatly presented. She looked just like she was sleeping.
You haven't seen anything yet, my brother. You should have seen the care and quality treatment they gave her at Transitions. One man, one room, just like a 5-star hotel.
Wow.
And not only that, we had a dedicated person to guide the family through the funeral planning process.
Are you sure?
Of course. From picking her up to when we lowered Grandma down, everything was completely stress-free. They had all the needed funeral services, caskets, hearse, chapel, and so much more.
This one, dear, no family fights after all.
I'm so happy we made the right decision to use Transitions.
With Transitions, your loved one gets the best of care while the family enjoys a stress-free funeral planning process. Call us now on 0302 634 706. And no, did I tell you they are affordable? Transitions, the funeral people.
The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
Brother, many aje fuck. Me juma juwa de Friday. Me kuma se bema. Me jimeni I no complain. And grand so amaba. Me say baby ya.
Yes, say baby ya. Charlie, from 4th March to 11th. Yeah, Charlie, yes, say baby ya. Heritage Caravan is coming big time. I have in studio marketing manager, one of our colleague segments, Guinness Ghana, and Edua Sari is joining us to talk about why Malta Guinness is proud to be associated with the Heritage Caravan again. Dana, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Bernard.
How you doing?
I'm good. March is a very interesting month for us.
Is it?
Yeah, in Malta Guinness.
Why?
Because Citi gives us the platform to celebrate Ghana. Malta Guinness is made in Ghana by Ghanaians with locally sourced raw materials.
I love that.
I mean, so it's a good month for us.
It's a match made in heaven.
Yes.
How long have you been on the Caravan as a sponsor?
We've been on Caravan, I believe this is our 3rd year.
Nice.
Yeah, this is our 3rd year on the Caravan. And it only gets better.
We must be doing something right.
Yes, and also for us at Guinness Ghana and Malta Guinness, Caravan gives us a platform that fits into our brand purpose, our business purpose. I don't know whether you know, but Guinness, our mantra is celebrating life every day, everywhere.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and Malta Guinness, we say enjoy a world of good, right? We know that times are tough, but we also believe that there are a lot of things to celebrate, and there are a lot of good things to celebrate. And, there's still hope.
What do you like about the Caravan?
I like the fact that people get exposed to, very interesting parts of the country that they would rather
Never
not
go
have
to.
been or never knew. I have not been on the caravan personally myself, but when I see the videos, I get excited. So the opportunity to know, yes, I will. I'm gearing myself up for that
yes,
day.
Please.
That day where I
please.
get to hop on the caravan. Yeah.
Tell you. Now, so I saw something about Guinness. You designed some nice thing with some different colors and different things. It was like some artwork that somebody had done. Is there like some, what was, you were talking about what Guinness, Malta Guinness stands for? It's like some nice picture of people running around, some eating, some drinking, entering some bottle, something.
Oh, really? Okay, for us, I don't know what artwork that really was, but for us, it's about, creating a world of good for people, giving people the opportunity to see the brighter side of life, to still have hope in spite of the challenges, the yes we can attitude, right?
All right.
So I don't know which communication material you saw, but for us,
I think
that's all.
I think there was a day some people came and they talked about some competition they had done to design a logo or
the label. Oh, okay. That was our recognized campaign.
I really like that thing.
Oh, yeah.
I really like that thing.
So it was an opportunity we gave young people in the country to
young creatives.
I
remember
to give us, a label design, and it was an amazing. Campaign.
It was incredible. I think that that one was so nice, and for me,
nice,
it showed the thing you were talking about, the vibrancy,
the energy, the vitality, the excitement, the hope.
I like it. I like it. What should we expect? I mean, I've been to a caravan a couple of times, and I drank a lot of Malta Guinness
with Nkati Aboga. I saw this video.
It was amazing. that was actually at Bonwe, and was on the return journey, and I was tired, and then the guys gave me malt. Somehow they kept it chilled. Yeah, and I had some Nkati Aboga. It was really good. So that's why I said I like even Nkati Aboga, but it goes to different things.
Yeah.
So what should we expect on the caravan this year?
This year we have, of course, it's going to be very exciting. There's going to be a lot of Malta Guinness, so to keep you refreshed, vitalized, with the right energy on the trip. But we have a surprise. We have something new.
Is it?
In the form of a new product.
You were saying that you sourced your... So Malta Guinness is made with material sourced in Ghana?
Yeah.
How long have you been doing this?
I mean, since...
Wow.
Yeah. Of course, we've had challenges sometimes, not getting, the quantity, but we try as much as possible.
So the Ghanaian farmer is integrated into your supply
and that's why we are in this campaign. So for us, it gives us another opportunity to celebrate the farmers that give us our sorghum, give us our maize for our products. So the Ghanaian farmer is really nurturing.
No, it's incredible. It's incredible. So you'll be on the. So will there be a Guinness person on the caravan?
Oh yes. We have 2 people on the caravan today.
Nice.
This year, one is going to be from us internally, and then we also have a supporting agency that will help.
And
us
there'll be Malta Guinness everywhere.
Oh yes, so you can come along with your Nkati Aboga.
Will we get your
and
t-shirts?
Anything else?
Will we get paraphernalia?
Oh, what do you want? Just
Malta Guinness.
Just send us the list.
Malta Guinness.
We are with you. We are with you on this. I mean, like I said, it's a perfect platform for us as a brand. It fits into our brand purpose and what we believe in.
And this is the weather is dry, so we need more.
We need more, and it's going to be chilled like you like it. Very chilled.
Do people drink more in the dry season?
I guess.
Yeah.
I think it's something that has to do with
because the season is dry, so this time when you drink more, you want to drink more. Amazing. And some people too funny. Some people they say when you want to some people add milk to it. And
all kinds of. It just tells you how creative Ghanaians can be. So we are glad that we have a product that can make people actually be creative. Yeah. So I personally enjoy it with milk.
Hey.
Yes. You have to try it this time on the caravan. So please come along with your milk.
Oh my God. She's the marketing manager for the non-alcoholic segment. She says there's a surprise on the caravan.
Yes.
And that those on the caravan, indeed, on Saturday morning when we set off, you'll hear from Diana and her team as well to tell you this is for the 150 or so people who will be on the caravan. But we'll be moving the caravan with our cameras, and as you explore Ghana, we'll be there with you. Thank you, Diana, for being on the show.
Thank you so much, Bernard, for having me.
All right.
Blood day, brother, many a day, fuck. Me juma juana di Friday, me a kumasi bema, me Meji many I no complain. And grand so my ba. Me say baby ya. Me go on go have it if you wale me na me bano. Sika so gumano. Me a drum me wipe. Uja me spell to have me bag. Man no man drum and frame. Mama Benjamin.
Good morning, Bernard. Teaching makes all the difference. We had all given up on French in JSS until the late Mr. Delechu took us for just 1 year. Every one of us made an A. No exception. AGC JHS 1998. Now the discussion has to extend to how we can continue to mint great teachers. Good morning, Bernard. I've been listening to you this morning. The fundamental problem with the teaching is the lack of understanding of the mathematical foundations and mathematical problem-solving skills, as well as inability to illustrate these to students. AIMS is addressing these in a number of ways. One, since 2020, we have a master program in mathematical sciences for teachers in higher school or in high school. We have a unique model which brings lecturers from all over the world to teach. Last year, we graduated 43, and this year we have 72 teachers in our program. This is a fully funded program. Our goal is to train over 1,000 teachers within our unique model in the next 10 years. Two, we recently started a series on helping teachers teach math with some of our partner universities in Canada. This January, we trained over 200 JHS and SHS teachers, though we received over 2,000 applications. This we run every 6 months. 3, we are building an online course where for JHS and SHS students to learn mathematics and computing online for free. This is a world-class system based on problem solving that will allow students to learn the foundations of the core curricula. We also have programs for girls in mathematical sciences. A 9-month program that is aimed at training and mentoring high school girls to become the next Einstein. And if you're planning your next adventure, do it with Emirates, where you can dine on gourmet meals inspired by regional cuisine with some free-flowing drinks to boot. Go on to Emirates.com to fly better on Emirates economy. It means if your money can make a no. That's Nana Uzbek Apotiers. What is it? You know, these days, because the churches are becoming so somebody they can be singing this song in the church, you know.
Yeah, the guitarists and
so
the drummers
do collection. Charlie, not busy. Charlie, bro, no collection. I'm going to collection.
Brother, one time, usually after praise, then someone come and shout, I'm a kid, yes, and the guy said, I'm going to go in there.
Oh my God. Thanks for listening to the show today. My name is Bernard. I had two of the best minds, Richard Delaska and Godfrey Akotobuafo. Mind you, we'll be on television in the next 20 minutes on the Nigeria elections. Touch screen and things.
I love the analysis. No, my father no word come.
Charlie, yes, sir.
Nigeria for no come to me, you visa. Why is it?
Again, into Kumasi Grand Nagbe. Charlie, I go fire. Because say better me know you. Into Kumasi Bon Nagbe. Charlie, I'm on board in the dam in Tuminchile. Charlie, Caleb good as the news. Why?
Yes, Bernard, I do. Individual Bondholders Association decided